Okay, so I believe, if I remember right, that last video left off right after I got out of the waiting room, the analysis room, the self-check room, maybe you call it. Um, Got into Mars. I'm in a school. It's literally a building. Okay. This is all under the surface. This is not on top of the surface. The surface of Mars and the moon and most places, guys, in most places, the surface is the roof of the house. Did you hear me? The surface of the planet is the roof of the house. Now what? Am I gonna start with y'all? Shit. I got a lot to tell you guys. I'm gonna try to make this a quick video. My buddy's gonna come over, my super weirdo buddy. Everyone needs a buddy here on Earth that's just as weird as you, but coming from a completely different perspective, and it don't matter where. And you meet up, and you just be weird as you can together for like 2 days until it just gets fucking bonkers and you cut it off. Right? So everyone needs one of them buddies. So if they bust in the door right here, I apologize. I'll turn this video off and I'll catch up with you. But I like being weird with people. It's fun. There's a lot of weirdos out here, believe it or not. And the weirdest thing is I believe if you're not like that, you're probably schizophrenic. Because you died off in an illusion in your mind. Versus being what you really should be. And what you should be is nothing that has anything to do with any programming that is here. By the evil reptilians are here. And that sounds schizo, right? But like, that's the fact of the reality, and I got proof. Hell, my hat's proof. We'll talk about the rainbow code some other day. Anyway, let's get back to the music class. Let's just get right into Mars. Details, I promised you. No more prefixes. Mars. Okay. Justin comes to. You're playing a guitar-like instrument. You call it a guitar. It's not a guitar. We have a couple things to talk about real quick. I'm going to try to do this really quick. Sorry if I talk real quick. I'm not trying to dump all the details right here. First off, when you leave Earth, when you go and see someone, you look at the person sitting next to you. Just a comfortable distance, just like at school. Just like at high school. Comfortable distance. Whatever. That's just a universal law. There's a comfort. Whatever. You got a little bubble, but you could still connect. Well, this dude is about 2 foot from me. Not even. 18 inches from me. He's sitting there. But we ain't banging guitars together. I look over at this dude. And, he's coming from a whole different spectrum of reality than me. He's coming from India. He's coming from a Satanistic. He's coming from a demonic. I could spell him out in ways that would make no sense to probably any of you. But this dude is some legit stuff. He's not a newbie. He's been there for a long time. Eons. But not like me. I'm looking at this kid next to me. I'm looking up to him like, hey, you know I just got here, right? Like I just embodied, and he's just sitting there going. That's all I could see. Everyone, the whole class was doing that. And the further they got away, the less I could even see them. They would just almost not be there. And it got to a point, at like 3 minutes in, I went, fuck, and I honestly broke. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you break. Sometimes you just snap. And it's well accepted there. There's no guns. There's no drugs or nothing like that. And I went 3 rows in, and I went about 8 up. I looked at this person, and it was a gorgeous woman. And I mean, it's just all the characters that just looked like me. I went up to this woman. I went, please. And she said, say who? And it hurt. And I was like, you just hurt me. Like, you just socked me. Like, you just hurt me. And I heard her calmly say, just say, ooh. And I did. I just said it again. I said it again, and I backed away from it. I'm in the middle of the rows of this music class, mind you. And I just kept doing it. And he said, tell me who. I felt like I had a Rubik's Cube of my soul. And then I felt her. And she said, feel me. I felt her. I went. And I seen her. And she goes, hey. And there, right there, on all planets, every time you travel anywhere, what will happen is there's a cloak. But when they accept your acknowledgement and you accept theirs into a harmonious communication, only then can you actually see what they're doing. They're actually inside of a cloak. You have a cloak around you. We do here on Earth. But when you let someone inside of your cloak, and then you could talk freely, and they're going off. So everyone has their own little bubble, like on Mars and everywhere else than Earth. Everyone has their own little bubble, and there's sort of a little bit of a respectful understanding code that has to be understood between two individuals, A and B, before you can even see them. You can't even see them other than their cloak. And mine would probably be like, but when you approach me with your energy, anywhere else but Earth, or even Earth, for that matter, like, let's just get right down to it. You have a wall. You ever hear about people having a wall around them? Until you get in, and then there's this whole other. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about literal, extremely defined. And I run up to this girl and she just tell me who. And I do it a couple times. And she's just like, she doesn't even acknowledge. Like if I was like, hey, wait, like what are you talking? Like she wouldn't even acknowledge me. It does not affect her. I cannot touch her. I can't touch, like, no one even acknowledges me until I give their universal soul energy the respect that it deserves with mine, and we breed them together, and then, only then, can you actually see what they're doing inside of their bubble. And it's a whole other world, and they're like, hey, how are you doing? And, yeah. That's how it is on Mars. Everyone on Mars is like that. Everyone on Mars is like that. It's like that everywhere but here, and it's sort of like that here. So I go and I go, I just felt her, and she's like, hey, how are you doing, man? Wow, you're impressive. Do you even know who you are? Kind of thing. And I was like, and she was like, do you, like, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And I was like, oh shit, like, and I seen her bubble, and I was like, whoo, like, whoo, like, I hear you, lady, like, and I was like, and she's like, I'm doing the same thing at you. It's like, really? She's like, we're in here doing, movements, is what she said. She says, we're in here doing movements. We're in movement class right now, and you're fine. And you're right over there. We seen you comment, like, and I was like, oh my god, where are you from? And she's like, it don't matter. I'm like, where are you from? Like, you don't even know where you're from right now. Like, we're from everywhere. I was like, So now I got the hots for this chick on Mars. Just like, I mean, the most gorgeous. There's no woman on Earth anywhere near as gorgeous as and you could do anything in the bubble. And she's like, yeah, I want you in my bubble. And you're just like, oh. And then you realize you came from sort of Earth, like me. Another Earthling would view it way differently than me. And she just seen everything in me because you eye lock. And she's just like, oh, I see you. I was like, and she's like, you're in the front row. Do you know what that, and I was just like, oh, fuck. I'm on Mars. And they're like, ooh, okay. I think 35 minutes went by in her bubble where I was just like learning inside of her little energy bubble that was not that big. It was probably like 5 foot across. Everyone has them. I was like, just thank you. Like, hey, like, and she's like, I know where to find you. Don't worry about nothing. Like, just, like, and she's in there playing her thing. And it's just medicine. She's playing her guitar. It's just the sickest medicine. And it's not a guitar, but I'm just like, I want to do that. And she's like, go up there and do it. Like, this is what we're here to do. That's where we're at, and we have to do this. This is like breathing. It's like, oh. Like, I'm already in love on Mars. You know what I mean? And it was like, just, out of gentleman respect, I was just, I outwardly hugged her bubble. Instead of hugging her like you would on Earth, I just really did. I was just like, really put my energy into her bubble. It's like, just so you know, you spoke to, and he's just like, yeah, I know you. Like, we all know you. And I was like, okay. And out of it. And I was back in my chair. I didn't know how to play this instrument. And it was so silenced in there. But it was so connected with everyone else in the classroom. Okay, just so you know, this is like one of 20 things I'm going to talk about from this specific journey from Mars. This is nothing. This is literally has almost nothing to do with it. I'm just talking about like I go to Mars. Okay, so it's like it's gorgeous there. You'll fall in love like that, and you'll just fall like the weirdest kind of love. The universe is big. The earth isn't big. They say there's 1,000 fish in the sea. No, the earth isn't big. The universe is big. Sorry. Sorry about that. So I go sat there with my dude. He wouldn't even let me in his bubble for a second, and it took a really beautiful. It was 373 tries to get into him. I'll never forget that. I had to try 373 times to get into this guy right next to me, and I'm basically a god compared to him. Okay. And I had to try that many times consecutively throughout the class, which wouldn't end until everyone agreed it was done. First of all, there's not time on Mars like there is here. Time there doesn't matter. Energy matters. Okay, so I had to try 373 times to even communicate with this guy that was, he's just a piece of junk compared to me. I got into this guy right next to me. I was like, should I go there? And he's like, oh no. And he just sent off an energy that threw mine off back to me, into my bubble. And it's like, man, I'll go to this person right here. I don't care about you. This ain't. And he just threw my energy off. And I was like, you've been here a while, bro. Like, I kept trying, it wouldn't work. I thought about going over him, back to my little lady over there, and she was like, oh, just squished me. I was like, so the dude sitting next to me playing guitar won't even let me send my energy out to talk to anyone else because I was supposed to talk to him, and he knew that, and he was way under me. Anyway, I got into him. I should write a book on that alone. This isn't David Wilcock. I'm talking about really going to fucking Mars. Right, so... Oof. Let me fast forward real quick. Let me put about fucking, like, 9 years worth of shit into, like, 4 minutes. Let's try this. Oh, man. You're talking about falling in a deeper love than I've ever felt on Earth, ever. In my 300,000... I've been here... My soul has been here for, like, 300,000 years. I've never felt a love like I did for that one person in music class on Mars. That one time. And I've fallen in a lot deeper love than that elsewhere. So love, your heart is your fucking center. It's everything. So when we go from here, let's go. We literally fucking got on a silly type of bus. And we went probably about 800 yards. And there was something like a police system. I'm not going to go into depth, but there's basically a police system. And it wasn't the dragons that did. Okay, so let me say this real quick. The dragons, the true police system on Mars is dragons. That's where dragons come from. Dragon technology. I have it. It's not snake energy, it's dragon energy. It's from everyone who has authority on Mars. Below them is a really, really, really similar. The most similar to humanoid. The humanoid police is actually under them. Because believe it or not, in some places the police are highly respected and highly needed. Like, how are you going to survive in places like this that are very similar to Earth? Once you get under the crust, of course, into the caverns of Mars, and there's a whole fucking world of schools and understanding and habitation, and so let me think for a second. Let me think. I'm gonna leave this. I should leave this one off right here because this is where it gets deep. This is let me finish up with the bus trip. The bus trip. And then I'll get off here and I'm gonna pick up where it gets really fucking. This is where the whole thing comes from that I want to tell you about. I promise you. That's where everything that I want to tell you comes from, is after I get off here. The bus took forever. It was literally like a bus. It was some type of trans. Okay, there's this literal. Okay, this is isolated. It's not surrounded by a city. This felt so desolate, and I mean, this is further away from anything I've ever been, and it was on the foothill of a mountain. It was on the planet of Mars. It would have been on the east. Southeast perfect side of a slope of mountain, but underground. And those reverberations on top of the planet echoed down into the ground. So what's above is so below, is it not? But there's caverns under it. There's a world. The shell of a planet is the roof of the house. Get over it. Like, just get over it. That's what's up. Oh my god, Mars. Mars is more gorgeous inside of it than. Like, the most ghetto thing on Mars is more gorgeous than the most spectacular spectacular thing on Earth by probably like 80 magnitudes. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's just like when I want a vacation, I don't pay for it. I go to Mars. And tromp around with whatever's going on. And you slide down waterfalls after going up in sacred caves and in certain depths of certain caves that have certain energies with certain entities that are only right there. There's no animals on Mars. Right? How there's animals and wildlife, there's not inside of Mars, there's none. It's on a different micro level. There's microbiology. Not macro. Is it called macro? Like a deer would be macro, or a human, or a tree, or a bird, or a otter, a shark. There's none of that there. The water is just fucking alive on Mars. You don't eat on Mars. You don't eat food. You breathe. You take your clothes off and walk. And the water, the basically humidity, you go swimming and it absorbs through your skin. You just breathe. You're eating. That's how you eat on Mars. If you really want to indulge in a Thanksgiving feast, you find the right place, the right lake, the right reason. You don't eat on Mars for no reason. And you go swimming. You go swimming for 8 hours with you and your 3 guides that come to you. And they're things, there's no movie, and there is no way to explain. There's no reference point or to the guides that you will have on Mars other than their energy, and they are as they need to be. You will have about 3 to 4 guides. I have 4. And they cover all the 4 realms of existence of Mars. And I'll go swimming with them. And I'm like, man, I'm scared there's going to be a turtle or a fish, like, seriously bite my wiener down here swimming like this. And they're like, no. Like, no bacteria issue. The bacteria issue is what puts the food into you when you go swimming on Mars. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I go to Mars. I'm not David Wilcock. Like this, yeah. I want to show you a couple cool crystals I got real quick. Look at this piece of fucking amethyst. Niggas black and white right there. I mean, purple. You want that purple? I'll put you on to where I got it. Look at this shit. Hey, purple and white. You see that shit. Ugh. I'm working with this. What do you call these? Let me get it. You know what I mean? You can't see that. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a lot about. I'm gonna tell you guys a lot of shit. Ooh. I'll be back.